And so this is going to be a take two. I just tried this before, and I accidentally pressed the stop instead of pause. Alright, so this is my image of Jupiter. These hairlines are actually cracks on the actual sensor. Now, I had to use a larger frame than I normally use because Jupiter was getting blown all over the place by the wind. I have a 10-foot long telescope. So you can see I have a lot of these frames where it's off camera. And at first I was nervous about these cracks because if I had a steady sky and good polar alignment and this crack stayed in this very one spot during the whole AVI, it would show up on the image. But because I'm capturing such a fast rate of frame capture, I have my gain is turned up and my exposure is turned down. In a 120-second video I have 22,252 frames. So I'm going to pause. Okay, so one side of this says 2952 and the other side says 121. All right, so I just got done hitting analyze, and of course I have a quarter of a Jupiter here, which for some reason autostakert decided was my best shot because it's at the beginning. So I'm gonna move over here. All right. Make sure that these two sliders at the top here, you have it, the width and the height all the way over so that you have a nice big black box like this. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead. If you notice, the quality graph is really low. Okay, and that's really low. That's 25%. Don't pay attention to that. That's just the overall quality of the video that's telling you. It's not really telling you the quality of your video. We're going to hit the stack button. Now I'm going to pause it again. Okay, so this is that same TIFF. This is the TIFF from that same video file. Now you can see it's not chopped off in half. There's no cracks going across the image. It's centered. I'm going to do one more thing with this while I'm videoing. Alright. I'm going to go over my video. I was going to start all over again at the beginning, but I don't feel like doing that. So I apologize for that. I had to restack this because I think that the boxes and everything that I used was identical to the original stack. So it counted the same exact amount of alignment boxes and everything and just recreated another TIFF, and I wanted to do something with a different TIFF. So here you can see the cracks on my sensor on this image. Over here I selected 60% instead, and I'm going to select close to edge on the alignment boxes over here. Background, I don't really know about what background is. I just select dynamic background because it's moving around. Dynamic to me means it's moving around. Quality estimator, I always use gradient even with Mars. And then you can see I have a very, very low quality graph. So I learned with imaging with a 10-foot long Newtonian never to worry about what the quality graph shows. When I was imaging Mars the other night, and I got a really good image of Mars, the quality graph was mostly above the 50% mark. If you get any kind of bad frames, then there's usually a chop off or a drop at the end. That's where the really bad frames are. This is supposedly going to auto size quality based. So it's going to basically, or should, stack your best frames to your worst frames. But we're gonna get a big laugh here in about, or no, that would have been the that would have been after analyze. Sometimes after analyze, I have to skip forward a couple of frames like I did here to get to the frame that isn't all messed up. So I don't understand that either. That's why I save all my really good surf files in case if there's something comes along that's even better than this. So now we're going to get the magic. Alright. So now it was really windy out like I was saying, so Jupiter was getting blown around, so I had to use a slightly larger region of interest. I'm going to hit pause again. Okay, so I know what happened. I accidentally hit save in folders. And of course my phone is too bright. And if I turn off my room light, so I'm going to have to hold back about here. Processing, this is my favorite program for Jupiter. Sharpen filter, deconvolution. All I just do is I just go over. Nobody's ever explained this program to me at all. And I'm not going to be able to get this. Okay, so just slide over gain. And I go to radius. I've messed around with X, Y, and rotation a little bit. And it just goofs up the image. I don't know what it does. There's no tutorials. But I just know that especially with a good TIFF on Jupiter, I bring this up around 246 or less. If it's a good, nice, clear TIFF like this. And then I hit the bottom button, calculate. And I'm not sure if you're going to get that on the phone. I don't know why you use such a small image of Jupiter, and honestly, I would have thought that this would have came out a little bit bigger. I bumped it up to 320, 332. Crap, I want to make this a short video. Okay, you could bump up the noise button, or image noise. Oh wow, okay. That looks good right there. Image noise, and then calculate, and that gets rid of some of the noise. So now, with that image there, I'm going to play a little game. I'm going to slide this image over, and that's the before. That's before, and that's after. It's a lot sharper. I mean, you don't even have to take this thing over to Registax for wavelet sharpening. Okay, a lot sharper. Alright, so I'm going to take this up and clean this up in Registax. A thing to note with autostakert. Alright, hold on, let me hit save first because I did just go through a lot here to get that image. Sorry, I'm not panning around the screen showing you where all the buttons are. It's kind of hard when your laptop screen is so bright and your camera phone doesn't want to capture it, but basically you open up a file and hit processing, find deconvolution. It's in a sharpen filter. Alright, I'm pausing again before this gets too long. Because I'm not really good on video editing, and this is going to be probably the last video that I do with this phone because this is ridiculous. No matter what I do, I can't figure out how to turn down the brightness control on my laptop screen. I press the little star button. Hold on, let me do this. Maybe this will work. Alright, figured if I hit shift or control, Maybe I could get the bright button to work, but it doesn't want to brighten. I'm trying to turn the brightness down on my screen because it's too bright. So this is the Jupiter image outside of Photoshop. One thing I want to mention is do not use uh, fitzwork with Mars images. You can't see it on the screen, but there's a really bad, what we call Gibbs effect. It's on the edge of the planet. I really don't care so much with Jupiter as long as I get those clouds. Well, now it looks like a golf ball, but you know, trust me, they're there. It looks like a beautiful image. It's like all my other images. It's just that this phone is what I call a media head phone. It's just for taking pictures of your dog and sharing your dog's picture on Facebook. It's not meant for doing anything else too crazy, else then there'd be a bunch of adjustments, probably brightness. So we're gonna just look at that. But wow, look at that. Okay, we have details. So don't use fitzwork deconvolution for Mars. It just causes a bad rind effect on Mars. That looks pretty good right there. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.